at this moment of time, his dad's not in a position to take him.
Okay.
So it's kind of been tense in the house. But I moved out at 16. So I'm like, okay, well, how can I change my parenting now to help him?
Some parents like really try to put it off accepting that for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like, is that something that you come into contact with a lot?
My son, he kind of started showing signs that he might be on the spectrum from like nursery school. When people are really reluctant, it is hard.
The Parent Playbook. The Parent Playbook.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Parent Playbook by Tribe. This is a space for real conversation about parenting. So if you're looking for the highlight reel and the perfection and all the glossy stuff that you see the influencer mums doing on Instagram, then this isn't the podcast for you. We're about authenticity and the realness. There's no manual, there is no instruction, but I tell you what there is, the purple print. Today I'm joined by an amazing woman who, do you know what? This person actually touched me in a way that she probably doesn't really know, and I will get into it a little bit later in the conversation. But without further ado, I would like to introduce DJ SP. Like I always say this, if we had a studio audience, this is when everyone will start, you know, go Jerry, go Jerry. Thank you so much for joining me
Thanks for having
today.
me.
I'm very, very appreciative to have you here.
Happy to be here.
Would you like to introduce yourself and tell the people who you are and what you do? I mean, I think the DJ bit was a little bit of a
Just a little bit.
If you introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm DJ SP, or Sian is my name. I'm a DJ. Also a full-time mum of 3 boys.
God, you got 3?
Yeah, 3 boys.
No.
I work in an SEN school as well, primary age children. So
Okay.
yeah,
No, but you have 3.
yeah,
No,
3.
I didn't know you had 3. I don't know why I thought you had 1, but you have 3.
No, I got 3.
And how old are they?
They're 16, 13 and 7. And
Oh
all their
my.
birthdays are coming up. They're actually all 16 days apart. So I've got the first one,
Shut up.
yeah, then 16 days later, the next one,
And then
16
another
days later, yeah.
That's really, I'm a real numbers freak. So, you know, like when you have numbers and stuff, that would really do something to me. Like the 16 must symbolize something.
Something.
And boys as well. So you're a real boy mum.
Yes.
How do you find that?
I mean, full on. It's full on. Very active. Boys are very active. They're also very loving as well, though, in their own ways.
Yeah, I see that. And do you know what? I feel like as an adult, seeing adult mums with their boys.
Yeah.
When I say adult mums, because we're adults, I mean like older. Like, okay, so my adult male friends, seeing their mums with them, there's 2 different types of mums that I've seen. And there's some mums that are like, they pour into their sons so much that when their sons get to adults, they're almost like their partner. So then when they get a wife or a partner, mum gets a little bit... Yeah, and then it gets a bit weird. So how do you feel like, you know, how do you perceive yourself to be when it comes to the time to let do you know what I mean? Like to push your son into the arms of a woman. Is it weird?
Not necessarily into the arms of a woman. I mean, even like just into the world.
Okay.
It's just, I think that's probably like my first thought when I think about like them growing up, them stepping out into the world by themselves. So but into the arms of another woman, I mean, I just want to make sure that I raise good men.
Okay. But that's beautiful to hear. Yeah. Some mums are like, no, I remember like when listening to my mother-in-law's speech at our wedding, and she was pretty much like, and he used to be my handbag. And it was like listening to someone that had divorced, you know, like the heartbreak. It's like, it sounds great, but then in the same stage, it's a lot of, this is my son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
So, and I have a daughter, so I don't really know.
And I don't have, I've slight experience with looking after a girl. I had my son's daughter come and stay with us for a while. So I was like foster caring for her for a little while. But she's...
Did you say your son's daughter?
Yeah, no, sorry, my son's sister.
It's going to be like...
Yeah, not yet. We're not there yet.
Okay. I mean, it's okay if you are.
But... not yet. But my main experience is having boys. And I've always been quite a bit of a tomboy myself as well. So I found it a bit, I think, easier having them, Yeah. And then when I was looking after my son's sister, I had to take into considerations like different things. Like
hormones.
Yeah, putting like a bin in the toilet and stuff like that.
It's crazy.
All stuff I didn't really consider before. But I think I'm happy being a boy mum. I think it suits me and my personality, to be honest.
And I think as well, I thought your children choose you.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, this was meant to be.
Yeah. That's how it feels, to be honest.
Okay, so talk to me about the DJing. You know, and obviously like you have a full-time gig doing your SEN work, which is really impactful and empowering, because a lot of schools don't actually have the support that they actually need in that particular area. But talk to me about the DJing first, because the DJing is really exciting. So you booked me for your female event, which was sensational. I really think that it is important that we put each other on when we're in the female, being a female in the industry. There's not a lot of slots because normally it's like one girl or two girls and then 20 man. So the fact that you've done an event that was all women, I just thought was like really, really inspiring. So when you reached out to me, it was something that I said, oh no, I would, if I have the time in my timetable, I definitely would want to do it. So yeah, well done. I thought it was really, really good. No, honestly.
Appreciate it. So yeah, I started out, basically I just kind of saw a space in the market for it, and I thought, you know what, so it actually started off as live stream. So I was inviting other female DJs to come down with live stream. And it got to a point like, and we was like, let's just do an event and see who's actually going to come down and support. And it just went from there. So yeah, it's been 3 years now. Of the Antidote. I've been DJing myself for coming up to 6 years now. But,
so what made you start DJing?
It was lockdown.
Really? Lockdown birthed so much creativity, you know.
So much, like I secretly wish we had another one, just like a little one, just
give us 6 months off.
Literally. But yeah, I just thought I'd just get it for fun. I'd done a couple of live streams at home. I wasn't actually planning on becoming a DJ full time, but I started getting bookings off the back of that, and it just kind of went from there. So I thought,
So have you always had like a love for music?
Yeah, I've always like played around like with DJing, but I never had equipment myself. I used to go to like friends' house, at friends' houses. But yeah, music has always had a big part of my life. So,
music is like something that people, like everyone can relate to music. You know, like one song can take you back 20 years in a blink of an eye. And I think the older you get, the more you realise, like, you know, like I remember the song, you know, Sis goes, fong, 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 fong. It's like, when I hear that, I go back. Like I'm back. I remember what kind of clothes I was wearing. It was definitely in the 2 for 20 Wembley Market stretch jeans. You know, like there's so many things that you don't realise one song can just be so pivotal.
It's very nostalgic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is nostalgic. And I feel like coming from the funky house era, it's like I never thought that funky house would be like old school funky because I was in the middle of it. So now when it's like, oh yeah, we're doing old school funky, I'm like, old school? I ain't old. And I'm like, oh, come on. It's different.
I remember seeing you perform actually at Fridge Bar once.
Oh my God, Fridge. Fridge was crazy. But I loved Fridge. I feel like Fridge was the real music. Like I can't explain it. Like out of all the raves, like there was one I used to go to in Hackney called Hackney Central. Don't you remember Hackney Central? And they used to do funky raves there, but they were empty because no one was really into funky. It was like, as soon as the funky room was open, there'll be like 3 or 4 people. But Fridge, I just remember walking in there and it just felt like the energy was crazy in there. I think that's probably a place I would love to have if I could revisit that energy, I would want to revisit that because it was just, it was so good. So talk to me about how you manage your diary, because you said you have a 7-year-old. So that is definitely you're still in team management. How do you manage what you're doing? Like there's a big thing online at the moment about the invisible load that mums carry. And it's all of the things that live inside your brain that only you know. And even if someone is going to come and help you, it still starts in your brain first. So how do you manage having a full-time gig, raising 3 boys, and then feeding your creativity via your DJing and your events all at the same time?
I've had to literally find ways to manage it. So it started with me just putting stuff in my phone, like in my diary, but that wasn't enough. Like I need visual things. So I've actually got a wall calendar at the
Oh, sick. Okay.
It's right next to my bed, so when I wake up, it's there.
What's going on?
Because I was finding it difficult at first, especially like with after lockdown. Obviously, then I was DJing, going back to work. My son was probably about 4 or 5, my youngest one. Trying to juggle like all those different things. It was difficult. So just visual prompts really help me. Yeah, definitely.
I think a lot of creative people really work well with the visual, like seeing it. And somebody was talking about once you write it down, although it's still in your head, it's a little bit less in your head. So it's almost like a dump of, so if I get it all down, then it's one load that is not just living rent-free.
I'm definitely a big fan of lists. Lists out, ticking things.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Do you write the list after you've done the stuff?
Sometimes.
I include stuff. And then so you can tick it off. Honestly, sometimes I've done so much. I'm like, I know, but all the things on my list I haven't done, but I've done this stuff. That's really weird. It's a strange satisfaction, honestly.
It is satisfaction.
Yeah, and I think it's the feeling accomplished, like just that.
Even if it's a small thing, I mean, because like you said, there's so much to manage and juggle. So just getting small things done can feel like a huge accomplishment sometimes.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. And I think managing 3 young humans that's an achievement in itself.
Yeah, they're at different stages as well. So like I said, my eldest is 16.
So how do you cope with that?
They're very different personalities as well. So my eldest, he's actually on the autistic spectrum. So he's not like as social. He doesn't really go out as much. Whereas my now 13-year-old, I'm starting to get all those things with him because I feel like I'm getting like the real teenage experience. Right. Now.
Okay, he wants to be out with his friends.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I try to find different ways to manage it because they are different in their personalities, different ways to manage them and encourage them to develop into healthy human beings, But they are all very different.
So then, okay, so how do you... I've only got one, so I don't have, I've just got one little child's needs, and they're loads. Yeah. Like, for one person, I'm like, why? There's a lot of things that you need. So in my head, sitting here listening to you, it's like, okay, cool, but then you have 3 children, 3 different personalities, and then that comes with independent needs of each particular one. Yeah. And then you have the needs of yourself on top of that. And then you have the needs of the house, and then you have the needs of your creativity, so your business, your Antidote, like the DJing, and then you have the needs of your actual full-time job. Yeah. Like that's a lot of plates to spin. Yeah, like what is the coping mechanism for that?
To be honest, I feel like I put a lot of my personal needs on the back burner, and I feel like a lot of mums do, to be honest. Parents, let me not generalise mums, but a lot of parents.
It's okay, we can talk about mums. We ain't got nothing against dads. Right. I interview dads as well, but I'm telling you, sometimes people are like, oh no, you're man bashing. It's not man bashing, this is just mum's perspective. Yeah. It's okay, we're allowed.
Yeah, no, it's I guess just putting my needs on the back burner and also like when the kids go to bed and there's that few hours before I go to sleep, I'm just like trying to re-regulate myself and at the minute I'm kind of finding that's my only time. Yeah. Like in the morning when I wake up, it's straight. Go. Yeah, I've got a dog as well, so I'm out, I'm walking the dog, I come back.
Did you lose your dog?
No.
What happened?
Oh, no. So my cat, I've got a little cat as well.
Has he got a cat?
Yeah. He's decided he wants to start coming on the walks as well. So he just follows us. And he came into the park with us and another dog chased
him out. Yeah. Because you put it on your Instagram, and I'm sure you had your purple bonnet on in your video that day, and that's what made me look. So I thought, is that me? Because I like purple. So I was like, and then I watched it, and I'm not even a cat lover, but your video made me want to go out and find the dog.
So sad.
Yeah, she was so sad. You said, listen, you was like, the dog chased the cat out of the park, and then the cat was just gone.
Because the man, like, he deliberately he saw my cat, and I was quite far at the time, so obviously he wouldn't have thought like we was together.
Yeah.
He let his dog off and it ran, and it just ran somewhere we haven't walked before. And I was like,
how did he come back?
He just came back eventually after 3 hours. Yeah.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Just heard him at the door.
He came home. He's like, let me in and don't take me back to that park ever again. So no, but you sound like you're a glutton for punishment because you have 3 kids and a dog. And a cat.
And a cat, yeah.
That's crazy.
And they're all boys as well. The pets
are they all boys? As well. No, the testosterone in your house must be large.
It's a lot. But yeah, back to, so in the mornings, literally just on the go, straight away. I mean, I guess when I'm walking the dog, being outdoors is good for me, definitely. Yep. I'm quite an outdoorsy person anyway. So even though the time is less than what I would like to spend, I'm still taking that
a little bit out
as well.
Yeah.
And the boys are not always keen to come on the walk. That's kind of my free time. So,
Okay, so talk to me about, so you work, did you decide to do work in a school with SEN because of your eldest son, or is this something you was already doing?
No, so my background is in playwork. So I used to work in adventure playgrounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. From like literally really young, like 16, I was volunteering.
Okay.
And then up until I had my first son at 21, and I'd actually worked my way up to like senior play worker. So I was like setting up the activities, doing the rotas and everything. Then took a break because I had my son. After my second son, I went to uni and I studied early childhood studies, just learned a bit more about child development and like policies and how childcare is in different countries and stuff. Okay. And then with that information, I then started to work in a school. I was doing one-to-one work with an SEN child in a mainstream school in reception, and I just found it difficult because I feel like in mainstream school they want all children to be at the same level, learn the same way, and I could just see for myself it's not
going to work.
Yeah, so then I wasn't there for too long because I fell pregnant with my third son. But after that, I was like, break.
Get them going.
Yeah, literally, after everyone as well, with mums as well, it's like you have to take a reset after each child. Okay, now I've got time. And obviously, lockdown happened during then as well. So I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I can't really do play work anymore because of the hours. Doesn't really suit. Like, I can't really do after school times. And like half term and holidays, which I was doing before. And then I saw this role in a SEN school. So the whole school is SEN. And yeah, I've been there for 4 years now, and I just really love it. I think I like the aspect of like working around what the child's needs are. Yeah.
Do you know what it's like? It's really interesting to talk about the needs of children that are SEN. And I feel like some parents, when they have their child and there's this first little glimpse of, oh, you know, your child might be on the spectrum, it sounds very, like parents get very tight and it sounds negative. And then some parents like really try to put it off accepting that for a very long time. Like, is that something that you come into contact with a lot? And what advice would you have for parents that might be, the suggestions might be there, but they're just, you know, they just feel like they don't want to accept it?
I wouldn't say I had that experience at the school I'm working at, but in my personal life with my son, his dad has found it very difficult to accept. My son, he kind of started showing signs that he might be on the spectrum from like nursery school age. He was diagnosed quite early, so probably by the time he was like 5 or 6.
Right.
But there was kind of constant denial from the get-go, and I tried to explain in different ways, you know, and send information. But I've just found that when people are really reluctant, it is hard.
You just kind of got to leave them to figure it out at their own speed. I think, I remember in my daughter's first school, there was quite a few different children in her class that were on the spectrum, and she found it quite difficult because some of the children were non-verbal, some of them were quite violent. She'd actually been hit quite a few times, and the school I feel like they didn't have the funding to have the resources that the children need. And I thought, and I didn't blame the school, do you know what I mean? But then at the same time, it's like, as a parent, you want your child to just be in a normal school because you don't want to say that they're not in a normal school. But then how effective is it then being in a normal school that doesn't have the resources that could actually bring the best out of them? And something that you said earlier on really, was really loud to me is the fact that mainstream school want all children to just navigate at the same speed, in the same style, the same way, and every child is different. Like when I was at school, now I realise why I didn't really do well in certain things, because I'm a creative. I want drawing, as you said, visuals, I want painting, I want dancing and drama, and anything where I'm sat in a room with a bright light having to read, it wasn't for me. But I was labelled as disruptive, loud, the jokester, because that was my way of dealing with how I felt in the moment. Whereas all these kids that are being made to travel through an old school way of learning actually isn't to their benefit. And some children are academic, man, and they thrive in that environment. But there's a lot of kids that just don't.
It just doesn't.
They just don't. And it doesn't mean that they're dumb or they're thick or, you know, it just means that they are going to be able to flourish in a completely different environment. And how do you find that right environment for your child, especially when they're all at different levels? Like it's a lot. Like I ended up taking Kizzy out of the school and I moved her to another school, because for her, that environment wasn't working. And now she's in a school that is very, very academic, but she's thriving at her levels. And there are SEN children in that school, but they have the resources. So she understands it. And she's, you know, she came home and was like, oh yeah, you know, something, so-and-so's got ADHD. I'm like, huh? What is ADHD? How do you even know what that is? And she's like, yeah, they've got ADHD, you know. I'm like, okay. So it's like they've taken time to explain it to the children in the school. So everybody, can you hear the alarm? Girl, it's the alarm clock. It's time for the Kizzy question. SP, I have a very naff 9-year-old who wants to be involved in everything that I'm doing. So she knows I'm doing a podcast and she's got a question for all the parents. Her question is, and you have three 3 sons. So you can pick one of your sons if you want, but it's what is your favourite hobby to do with your child or children?
Definitely. With all of them, going outside. I love going Richmond Park. And
really?
Going into the park, just being surrounded by nothing but nature, and them not having access to technology and just being creative. We've been doing that for a long time. So it's hard with the older ones now, but it's nice to get them out.
Yeah, I feel like that is a beautiful thing because it's nothing. It takes nothing. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's not like... you're not relying on anything apart from maybe a little bit of decent weather and the outside. We love Richmond Park. That's the one with the reindeers. We go through there at Christmas quite a lot to see the reindeers. And when you drive all the way through, it's like, oh my gosh, how can there's so much nature in the middle of the city? Like, it's crazy.
It's so big, like you could spend hours in there. Yeah. I took my niece there the other day as well, so it was their first time going.
Oh, really? Oh man, that's nice, man. Yeah, Richmond Park. I was trying to think of, is there another park that we go to? There's a park that I take my daughter bike riding in called Autistic Park, which is quite nice. It's not that big, but we get to ride in like the forest bit, which is, it's I'm not really outdoorsy. Like I don't even like the sand of the beach. Yeah, you know, I'm like, I'm one of those people. I'm like, can we stay by the pool? The kids are like, hey, what are you doing to see? I'm like, I've definitely been bit in the water before. It's PTSD.
Oh, God,
It's very, very, very shaky. But okay, that's lovely. I'll let Kizzy know. So back to the support for the children. It is really tough, you know, it's really tough. But I think that something that is amazing now is having access to technology that can allow you to be able to figure out things to do by yourself at home. Yeah. So not relying on the way that they have formulated things in a school as your only resource to help raise your children.
Because I mean, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's only like that in this country, but when I was at uni, that's when I learned about other countries, especially like Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden. They cater their education system to the children.
Wow, so how do they do that?
They pick up on what the children are good at, what their talents are, what their skills are, and they adapt the learning to that. So if they're like more inclined like to learn mathematically, like they're kind of focused on that. If they're more creative, like they'll focus on that. That's amazing. Yeah.
And you'll think now with technology, they would be able to do that in our classrooms because it's, you know, everyone's using ChatGPT, babes. Like just upload the school report. Like, how can I do learning for this child? Like, but I feel like, it's definitely over here is about budget. And I do honestly believe as well that we are in an environment that teachers and our children are being taught to just be amazing workers.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like it's not really about nurturing them to step into a life of happiness involving what they love and what they want to do. It's all about get a job, go to uni. Like my daughter asked me about uni the other day. I'm like, uni? She's like, do you want me to go to uni? I said, what is uni? This is I don't know. I said, uni comes after college and it's learning for another 4 years, And she said, okay, well, I think I'd like to go to college. Why? Because they're all talking about it in school. Why are you talking? You're 9. Why are you talking about college? And it's like, you're going to learn all of these things that in 10 years' time, nobody might not even need anymore. Yeah, exactly. So we're really at a weird space with our kids because it's how do you encourage them to not be like, we don't want them to not learn, you know, but at the same time, it's like, learn what?
I've kind of always been like with my kids, I've said the same to my kids really. I was like, school's not for everyone. Me, myself personally, I thrived when I went to college and I could pick what subjects I wanted to do. With my eldest, he went to a mainstream primary school, but he was scouted for a new school that was opening that was only for children on the autistic spectrum. I was a bit reluctant at first because I was like, oh no, I kind of want him to have like
be in the straight normal thing,
have the normal school experience.
And it's not normal, you know. Like I hate when people, you know, the word normal. It's like it's
I really
mainstream
had to
school.
Check myself. I was like, no, because that wouldn't even suit him anyway. Like his personality. If he wasn't coping well in the classrooms, he would just end up in like this one inclusion room and have to do all his work in there. So, but he really thrived when he went there. It was smaller class sizes. Again, they kind of, because it's a specialist school, they're kind of adapting the learning and stuff like that. He's in college now and he's doing gaming design. And he's really thriving and he's really focused on kind of what it is that he wants to achieve and do, which is
that's his style.
So but with my middle one as well, I'm suspecting he's got ADHD. Again, like you said, like with yourself.
Well, like we all have.
Yeah, basically.
No, but I feel like the majority of people have it. They just probably don't realise.
My doctor said, he thinks I have, and he thinks I'm on the autistic spectrum as well. And I'm like, but what can I do with that information
at this age?
At this point, like, what can I do?
But you know what you can do? Like, if you have an understanding of the why, it makes the process a little bit easier.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
like for a long time, I never knew that I had ADHD.
Yeah.
And I went to see a migraine specialist, and he's talking to me, you have to have this big interview about the migraines, and we're going through everything. And at the end, he leans in, he said, so what are you taking for the ADHD? And I said, what? And he said, what are you taking? And I said, I got ADHD. And he looked me dead in the eye and was like, oh, you don't know? And I said, I have not got ADHD. And in my head at that time, ADHD was the mad kid running around, skidding on the floor, doing a mazza. Like, I didn't understand that it was just neurological, I can't even say the word. Anyway, it's very neuro, and it's just the way your brain is wired. It's just a different, and there's like, I get on the wrong tube a lot. I understand the tube map like nobody's business. Danielle's in the back of there, she will concur. If you want to get anywhere in London, I could tell you, I'll go and I'll be able to map it out the quickest route, but I get lost on the tube. It doesn't make sense. I get on the wrong trains. I'll go in the wrong directions. I will sit on the train and realise, oh my God, I'm in the wrong place all the time. I booked the wrong flights all the time. The amount of times I've booked the wrong dates. I've even booked the wrong date for this room, okay? I booked a wrong date for an event. I turned up at Barclays for a whole event. They didn't have it in the calendar. I was a month early. Oh, God. But me now understanding the way that my brain computes information, I don't blame myself anymore. So I'm like, oh, that's just the way, okay. And I think that for me, knowing that helps me in everything that I do now, because I'm able to assess why maybe I'm not completing, or why this isn't working, or why I don't understand. Like, and even that ChatGPT has been great, because I'm able to say, this is what I want to do. But how do I do this for a person that is this brain type? And then it will break it down. Even with like certain things, script-wise, like I can't read from an auto cue. Like, it's not going to work for me. If you write me a list of questions, I'm never going to stick to them. So, but now I know I'm better with prompts. Just give me a bullet point and then I can flourish.
So
but without
like an understanding of self.
Exactly. It would just allow you to just be more patient with yourself.
Yeah, I hear that definitely, because since it's been brought up to me, and it's actually been since I've been DJing, because this is like kind of one of the first times I've expanded my social circle, and a lot of people said it to me. So that's when I started thinking, what do you mean?
And also it just feels kind of negative in the beginning. You're like, oh, what are you trying to say? Like,
and then seeing a lot of stuff online, I'm like, I relate to this. And I'm like, oh, everyone's saying just everything's ADHD. It's just everything. And
everyone is saying it. But you're right. Everyone is saying it. And sometimes it's like, oh God, here we go again. But then when you see that post that hits and connects, you're like, but this is me. Like, so I would like, I know quite a few people that actually take medication for ADHD. I'm not on that part of my journey, but I know that some people need it just to commit, just to regulate, just to have some kind of normality and schedule. I feel like I lean into the craziness, and I like it, because it's like, if I didn't have it, I don't want to take it away. This is my magic power. Literally. Sometimes, what am I doing? But it's just me. So no, I think it's definitely worth exploring. And as I said, I just think it's just an understanding. And then also, especially with your children, you're able to then look at them and understand that they may have DNA strands that are similar, and then you're able to just understand how to meet them where they are with whatever it is they could be struggling with.
I think that's definitely the point I'm at now. I'm like, okay, now I'm seeing it like in my own, obviously my eldest kind of new, but my middle one, it's kind of been like within the last 2 years. And also when I was caring for my son's sister, that was 2 years ago as well. She's ADHD as well. So I was reading up on it as well.
Was you doing your homework?
It's like, I need to know. So especially like with females, because I always see that females get diagnosed later. They find it easier to mask. And again, I'm reading stuff.
And a lot of it gets blamed on hormones as well. They're like, I know it's hormones, your tweens, it's your preteens, and now you're a tween, or do you know what I mean? It's always something, and it's never like, actually, it could be something else. Yeah, it's quite, but it's, something that is inspiring is the fact of you're doing your homework, you do your research, and you're understanding it, and then you can just meet whoever it is where they are and have a clear understanding. I feel like when I look at my daughter, I see like, I wouldn't label her as ADHD, but at the same time, it's like when I see her have her iPad open, and it's like she's on FaceTime to her nan, and then she's got a thing here in the corner where she's doing a game or something, and then there's something here she's doing, and I'm like, oh yeah, bro, this is mania. And like, initially I'd be like, no, put that all down, just concentrate on one thing. And then I go back to Nyah in the classroom being told, no, just one thing, and just feeling like death, like, no, like, I can't, I need to do a few things at the same time. So I'm learning to be like, okay, cool, well, if that's her vice, if that's how it is, then, as long as you're playing chess in the corner, okay, cool, it's something constructive, we're not on Roblox.
That's literally me. I put the kids to bed, like sometimes my 16-year-old, he'll come down the stairs, he'll open the kitchen door, and I'm just there in the dark, and so I'm doing stuff on my phone, I've got the laptop open, and I'm writing bits. And he's like,
but you okay?
Just having my time.
No, but it's, are you okay? Yeah. All right, so talk to me about the kids when, like, so you just said you're downstairs, you're in the dark, you're doing your thing. Yeah. How many times are the kids interrupting you? Like, do you feel like you get interrupted a lot?
Quite frequently, yeah. And sometimes I find it difficult as well, like having that interruption, because it might be an interruption for something I need to step away from doing what I was doing to go and do something else. Yeah. So sometimes I find that difficult. As the kids have got older, I've tried to give them a bit more responsibilities in terms of like doing housework and stuff like that, but that's not always hitting. It's not always.
You got to go and redo it.
Yeah, literally.
It's funny, like, I don't know how boys are, but like the first time you give them something to do, I feel like this as kids, they get so excited. It's like, wow, it's amazing. Like I told my daughter to change her duvet and stuff, and I said, I'm going to come and help you. I folded it all up on the bed. I said, just strip the bed and then I'll come and help you. I was doing something, came back, she done the bed. She managed to change the whole thing herself. This is 8 years old. Yeah. Fantastic. It's not going to be on my list anymore. 2 weeks later, here, change the bed. Oh, I can't change the bed on my own. I said, but you've done it already. She said, no, I can't. Mum, it's too much, it's too hard. I said, listen, I've seen you do it before. Yeah. That's your mistake. You show me your skills. Do it again. The child, I'm suffocating. I'm suffocating. I can't do it. So then you're right. It's like, oh, just making more work for me.
Literally start deliberately doing stuff like the wrong way.
Doing stuff.
I'm not going to wash it out properly. I'm going to leave it.
But again, I think probably that's just for us to have patience and say, okay, well, you're going to have to do it again. Yeah. And then so they understand that, but if I don't do it right the first time, she ain't going to clear up after me now. I actually have to get it done. But it's hard. Sometimes as a mum, you just want to just get it done yourself, man.
Yeah. I'm always like, not reminding them, but telling them, like, I was doing this at this age. Because I feel like things are very different. And
they're extremely different.
Yeah, I actually moved out at 16 as well. When my eldest is 16, I'm like, not that I don't want him to. I've always said it to him, I don't want you guys to move out. But I'm just saying, like, obviously, I was having to do this. So you guys.
You was looking after yourself.
But they just kind of look at me like,
whatever.
You're here still, and I'm here.
I ain't going anywhere. But I think there's it's a tough balancing act, because it's like, yes, I want you to be independent. I want you to be able to survive by yourself, but you don't have to survive by yourself. Yeah. So it's that mixed communications. It's like, I want you to be able to do all these things, but no, I'm still here. I'm still going to help you. And like, it's hard, you know, and I feel like trying to have them learn and be independent, but still be your baby all at the same time must be it's just the hardest space to be.
It is hard. So with my middle one at the minute, so like I said, it's going through a lot of teenage stuff at the minute. He's actually expressed, like, very recently, so this is very fresh, like, this is going on at the minute. Like, he's not happy being at home, and he wants to go and stay with his dad. And
okay. Do you think that's a boy thing?
I think so. But for me, as a mum, I've always said that I know there's only so much I can do as a woman 100%. Raising 3 boys. I've always said that, and the door has always been open for their dads to be a part of their life. So I found it difficult hearing him saying that, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, how can I
help soothe this?
Yeah, basically. But unfortunately, at this moment of time, his dad's not in a position to take him. Okay. So it's kind of been tense in the house. But I'm trying to think, okay, what... Because like I said, I moved out at 16. So I'm like, okay, well, how can I change my parenting now to help him? So I said to him the other day, like, right, if you're so desperate to leave, let's think about what can you do now
in the meantime
to start setting yourself up. I was like, I don't want you to, but if this is like what the path you want to go down, how can I help?
Oh, you're amazing. That, honestly, no, I know. No, but what you're saying is everything that is not going to make him run in the opposite direction, because you're giving him, but it sounds like you're giving him a safe space to become himself, you know? And as you said, as a female raising a young man who's now he's turning into his manhood, however they want to say it, it's like there is only so much that you can do, you know? And the fact that he is expressing, I want my life to look like this right now, it's not a negative. And that is a positive in your parenting, because that is you raising a young man that is able to express himself. That's dope.
I'll take that.
Yeah, but that's dope. Honestly, there are kids that don't talk to their parents. Their kids, parents don't know what their kids are doing outside. Do you know what I mean? So to be able to have a son that's able to come and say, Mum, this ain't really my thing no more. Yes, it's heartbreaking, but it is a testament to your parenting at the same time. So what did they say? Clock it. What did the kids say? Clock it. No, honestly. Okay, so we're going to wrap up soon because I've chewed your ear off for long enough. But what is your advice to the parent that is at a space where their child was in mainstream, they have extra needs, they're being offered a situation in an establishment that is not mainstream school, and they are thinking how you were thinking, like, well, no, I want my child to be in a mainstream school. What is your advice to them in terms of making a decision that is best going to affect their child and probably not suit their ego, you know? Because I feel like this lifetime, we spend a lot of time soothing our egos and what we feel like it's going to look like and feel like. And sometimes it gets distracted and masked, which then could maybe not benefit the child as it could benefit them. I mean, for my son, the school was just opening, so we didn't get a chance to go and see it while there was children there, while the teaching was happening. That's even harder.
It's
like blind.
It's just some blind space. But I think just prioritizing your child, like deep down, you know what your child's personality type is like, and what their needs are. It is hard sometimes to put aside what you think you know is best and just try to. I think for me, I try to put myself back at that age and what would have worked for me at that age. How would I have liked to have been dealt with? And I think
how would you thrive?
Yeah, exactly. So I think if you can, just going to check out schools, speaking to other parents, definitely, getting their experiences. Even if you know anyone that works in SEN directly, because they might have information and advice they can offer. Speaking with your child, definitely getting their views, I think is definitely up there. Just allowing them to thrive. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. I feel like that is a top tip. Don't be scared.
And with
and it's changing.
Schools,
Like, do you know, I feel like a lot of when I think special needs and SEN, it's how you go back to the 80s and the 90s of the bus that used to come around, and it was very like. It's scary. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that is probably the image of a lot of the millennial parents. Whereas it's just not that anymore.
It's not. I think the main thing, and what I really like about my school, the focus is on the child and how to help them, whether that be helping you learn how to do your zip up, helping you to write. A lot of the kids are non-verbal. Just know that the school is there to help with your child's development, and they help out families as well. It's not just limited to the child's. They will refer you to different agencies and stuff if you need support in other departments.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, man, thanks, SB. Well, before you go, I'm going to share one last story, okay? So last year, I decided that I wasn't going to do music anymore. I was going to take a hiatus. 2026, no more performances. And my last performance was SP's event. And I posted up that I wasn't going to do music. And she sent me the most heartfelt message as if her event had made me give up music.
Oh my God.
And I read it and I was like, what? No. And it really made me understand that the perception of what you put out into the world can be perceived in so many different ways. And sometimes conversation, and all the time really, communication is so bloody important. Because we spoke and I said to her, oh, no. Babes, this ain't about you. It's definitely about me. And if anything, your event was so good. It was just, I felt like it was leaving on a high. It wasn't that I performed and I had an awful time. It was I performed and I thought like, this is it. I need a moment because your event was great. And I'm actually going to add the link to the footage because I've been saving it. Because it was absolutely amazing, and it gave me everything that I needed. It gave me clarity, and it gave me room to understand that this music is going to live on.
Yeah,
with or without Nyah's little performance, it is actually going to live on. And what you're doing is amazing. And please, you have to keep doing it, because there are so many other female artists out there that need a stage, they need a platform, they need a safe space.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
And they need to know that you can do this, and it doesn't have to be the Wembley Arena. It doesn't have to be, you know, the O2, because when you're an artist, sometimes you're searching for that thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that. Because when I performed at your event, I went home extremely happy. It was great. So 10 out of 10, okay? And that is why I led with, in the beginning, saying that you really inspire me. So your message inspired me as well, because it made me really just check the way that I articulate myself and what I put out, because everything makes somebody feel some type of way, even when that wasn't my intention. But yeah, I'm just glad that we spoke. So yeah, anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for coming. Guys, now this is why I do the Parent Playbook in the first place, is having real conversations and talking to people that have real advice and real tips and that are really in the trenches. 3 sons. Absolutely amazing, and she's so inspiring. Guys, if you want to check her out, I'm going to put all of her details in, what do they say, in the link down below. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the other side.
The Parent Playbook.